In the previous videos, we talked about intentional living and went further to discuss how to be intentional in building relationships. In today's video, we are talking about being intentional in the area of health and fitness. My name is Joyce Thairo. You're watching Intentional Living. The area of health and fitness is a very important aspect of living. Somebody said, you need to take care of your body because that is the only place where you live for the rest of your life. And one way of taking care of our body is through being intentional in healthy living, and especially the area of healthy eating. Somebody else said that you can choose to have your food as your medicine. If not, you will have your medicine as your food. So the choice is yours. So as we talk about healthy living, being intentional in healthy living, we are talking about nutrition. What are we eating? When I check around, I see people who have no care at all in what they eat. Recently, I was traveling in public transport and I saw people buying ready-made food in the matatu and eating. And I was wondering, are they sure about the hygiene, where that food has been prepared? Whether it has been prepared using proper ingredients, and especially the hygiene of that food that they were buying. But they just bought and ate. What are young people eating? Recently, a survey was conducted in our in universities in general, and they discovered that young people are living on snacks. They eat snacks in the morning, a samosa over lunch, a cucumber and a smoky in the evening, and that's it. And they're adding fizzy drinks. Is that healthy? Is that healthy eating? Does it provide the nutritional requirements of a body that is being subjected to a lot of study? And the good book tells us that of much study, where is the body? So young people are not eating appropriately, yet they're expected to perform. Probably, I think that is a reason why there are very low transition rates in our universities. That is an area of research for social scientists. There is also the aspect of nutritional healing. I remember in my primary school, we learned that the body requires key ingredients for growth and development. It's the carbohydrates, the proteins, there are the vitamins, the minerals, and the water. Are we providing those requirements for the development of the body? If not, of course, we are not intentional. So, if we are not intentional in providing the proper nutrients for our body, do we expect productivity? There is this aspect of nutritional healing, where you have your food as your medicine. Are we intentional in that? Do we know that some aspects of the components required by the body are actually provided by the food that we eat? And they help the body prevent illnesses. Remember the old adage that prevention is better than cure. We have to be very intentional about what we eat, because we are actually what we eat. Physical fitness is one of the areas that is lacking in today's world. People are senile. People are sitting from morning to evening. A case is where an individual leaves the house, walks into the garage, drives the car to work, takes a lift, sits, and because he is a boss, his 10 o'clock tea is delivered at the table. The utensils are picked. The lunch is delivered by the online services. At 4, the tea is delivered. At 5, the person leaves the office, walks to the lift, takes a lift, goes to the parking, takes the car, goes home, right in time to watch news, sits on the couch, watches news, and goes to sleep. That is very unhealthy. That is very unhealthy, and it needs to be checked. We have to be intentional. I've visited some offices and I've discovered they have put a printer in a different room, such that when you send a document, you have to rise, walk to where the printer is, and pick your document. Other organizations have made it impossible for food to be delivered to your table, and some people are complaining. And I think that is where the organization becomes more intentional than the individual. It is important for you to get off your seat and go and seek a service, because that way you move. And actually, did you realize that when you walk around, when you do physical activity, actually your emotions are regulated? So we need to be very intentional in our physical fitness area. We need to use the pads. You need to park a few meters away and then walk to the office. You can even take the stairs instead of the lift. Being intentional in that way makes you healthy. Remember, we are talking about health and fitness. You have to join other joggers. Form a community of joggers in your environment, and plan for events where you can be jogging. For example, on Saturday mornings, in the evenings, and that way you ensure that you are physically fit. Healthy living is another aspect that we need to talk about. Just healthy living, and especially the areas of emotional and mental wellness. Emotional wellness is a very important area, and in future we'll be taking time to talk about emotional intelligence, an area that I'm deeply passionate about. That is my area of research, and I've realized that many people are actually directed by emotions instead of being intentional. You see it in our roads. People driving big cars, they have a small accident and they walk out and they are shouting. There's a shouting match. You get very embarrassed when people are, throwing obscenities at one another just because a small accident has happened. That shows that people have bottled emotions within them, and we need to learn how to express our emotions in a healthy way. So we need to be intentional about our emotions. If emotions are not, especially negative emotions, are not put in check, they develop into mental health issues. I want to say here and now that mental health issues stem from emotional health issues. So if we check on emotional health issues, then we might be able to talk about having a way forward, especially on the area of mental health issues, which has become a global disaster. If this is not checked, then we are not heading in the right way. So I would say this: we need to be intentional in our health. We need to be intentional in our physical health, taking care of this body that carries us to work, carries us to wherever we are going, taking care of our emotional health, taking care of our mental health, and living a life of intentionality.